This will be a two-part demonstration. The first part will be on how Resolve can react to an alert indicating a service is down, how Resolve can then create an incident, how Resolve can resolve the service down, and then resolve the incident as well as pass information back to the alert. So what you see here on the screen in front of you is our automation designer. And here we have the automation that reacts to the alert in the event or observability platform and then executes this set of steps, which we refer to as tasks. So you can think of a task as a mini function where I connect to a server, I can issue commands, I can parse the output and then assess the results. And then I can make decisions based on the information I've gathered. So if the service was restarted by something else and we find it to be in a running condition, we can resolve the incident as no problem. Or we can go down the path of interacting with the system in order to gather information, restart the service, and verify that the service is running before ultimately being able to close out the incident. So again, this is a closed loop automation, so it runs in the background, but we do have a front end page that contains the information about what the manual troubleshooting process is. In addition to that, each task that you saw on the automation designer creates a result that is captured within our worksheet. So I have an audit trail of all of the executions that were done as part of the process. We can see parts of that worksheet result within the page itself, where I have created an incident. I've checked for existing incidents and change requests that might have triggered the alert condition to indicate that the service was stopped. From there, I go through the diagnostic procedure. I gather information about the system and ultimately determine that the process indicated by the alert is still in an inactive state. Based on that information, we can then go through the repair process to restart the service, verify that it's running, and ultimately resolve this particular incident. So if I go back up to the top, I do have a link where I can then open this particular incident, and I can view all of the details. So we've captured everything that's gone on in the ITSM system. We're able to have it tracked and reported on within that particular system of record. As part of the process that Resolve went through in the automation, we've gathered information and we've made updates to the work note that we've gone through a set of steps. Ultimately, we have rendered this incident within a resolved state. So now what can happen is if there's something really wrong with the system, that alert might be triggered 3, 5, 15, 30 minutes later, in which case, again, the automation is going to go through its set of steps in the process. We're going to check to see if the service is running. We're going to restart it where necessary. Now, ultimately, if this is a reoccurring condition, we might not want to have the automation continue to run. So in addition to that incident that we were just looking at, I've created two more that are, again, in that resolve state. So we've gone through the automation process that's associated with these. Going back to our automation designer, we actually have another automation that runs that's called our chronic or flapping incident. And what this particular automation does is it takes in some parameters in order to search for previous incidents. So I take in the CI name. I can then pass in the count, so the number of times that this particular CI has created this particular type of incident, and then a time frame. Here I'm using 45 minutes for my demonstration, but these numbers are configurable as to what window and how often you would want to look for this particular chronic condition. Now again, this automation is designed to be reusable, so you could reuse it in different automations, leveraging different parameters based on the types of alerts that you are looking for those particular chronic conditions. And then I can also pass in the incident states that we want to look for. So in this case, 6 is resolved and 7 is closed. So we're going to look at different states for the incidents within that particular time frame. So if I were to create an alert again, I can be able to have this automation trigger. And because we're going to go past the particular threshold of 3 closed incidents within a 45-minute window, we can be able to have the automation react to that chronic. So if it does find a chronic condition, we can then have that alert updated, as well as we can update that particular incident in order to indicate that we have come across a chronic condition. We can change the assignment group. Again, we can change or update any particular parts of an incident that we would want to based on the fields in the ITSM system and how the routing is done for each of our particular customers. And then have that indicated that somebody's going to need to look at this because it's been an ongoing issue. So now if I were to go back to my ITSM system, I will see an open incident here for this particular service has stopped. Again, we can see the other 3 that we had just looked at are in the resolve state. This particular one is new. And because the automation determined that we have crossed the 3 incidents within a 45-minute window, we have updated the work log to indicate that it is a chronic condition. Again, I can change assignment groups assigned to whichever fields we would want to in the incident. This particular demonstration, we simply update the information to have the alert identified as chronic, or in this case, we're looking at the incident as well. So again, we are able to make those logical decisions based on the information that we've gathered. This has been a demonstration of Resolve closed-loop automation for restarting a stop service and building upon that in order to look for chronic or flapping conditions and react accordingly to those and not just continue down the automation of restarting, in which case that doesn't make a lot of sense.